of Claudine Gay, who was the president of Harvard, a black woman who was the president of Harvard and who had to resign, I think this week or last week,
Yep.
I can't remember, as a result of comments she made about the Jewish situation, because she was asked the question, if somebody called, and this is, if you think about this is actually quite horrendous. If somebody calls for the genocide of Jews on the Harvard campus, would that be in contravention of Harvard rules? Or I can't remember the term.
Rules and policies,
And her response, which is staggering to me, unless I'm missing something, was it depends on the context.
Yeah.
And you hear that and you think, so you've got somebody in Harvard, a protest or saying all Jews must be killed, and they're not penalised or punished for that by Harvard, dependent on the context of how they say it. But is there a context to saying something like that?
No. I watched those 3 university deans, or whatever they're called, of those 3 top universities, all give the same answer. One of them, not the black woman called Gay, but one of the others, was grinning and laughing as she was saying.
Yes.
She looked evil.
Yeah.
The black woman looked stupid.
Yeah.
But this white woman looked evil. It looked like she was getting some out of it.
Yeah.
It all depends on the context.
Yes. She was almost smug, wasn't she?
Yes.
She was almost pompous in that. I saw that, the lady you were talking about.
And she got sacked.
Yeah, she got sacked.
There's only one left now. 3 women who gave those interviews, only one is still in position.
Yeah.
And we'll see if she keeps her job. The gay woman, black woman, she didn't resign because of what she said. She resigned because the university lost 100 million in donations.
Yes.
And those people who were donating to the university must have said, no more money off me if she's in post.
Yeah.
So she lost her job for finance reasons. It wasn't because of what she said.
And I think that's one of the few things that turns these things in the correct direction, aren't they? In fact, money. I think money is a big influencer here.
Yeah.
And for a long time, the money has been going in the direction of the DEI thing.
Yeah.
Situations like this create a shift in the other direction. And I think one of the big donors is a guy called Bill Ackman, who's, I think I sent you the article about him. He's a Harvard alumni. He's a billionaire, a hedge fund manager or something like that. I can't remember what he does. And he is the one who's said, I'm taking away my contribution. And he wrote a really good article. I actually extracted, I think I sent you some quotes from it, about DEI and how it's been corrupted and twisted into something very different to what it is. Because what he's basically saying is, basically, if the only racism now is directed against white people and Jewish people. That's basically what he's saying. So, and that's the only acceptable racism now. So racism against white people, and we come all the way back to Karl Borg-Neal, racism against white people is acceptable, racism against Jewish people is acceptable, but nothing else is acceptable. You can't say anything or make any comments about anybody else without basically being pilloried, cancelled, or whatever it might be. And that's what he's saying. He's saying the whole thing has gone horribly wrong, and you've got these very nasty people who are pushing these agendas for DEI now, including the person who was at the meeting with Karl Borg-Neal. It was a diversity trainer who was the one who basically got him sacked. Who, if you don't agree with what they say, don't agree, and you can't just not be racist now. You have to be anti-racist. So you can't just say I'm not a racist. You have to prove that you're anti-racist, basically, by doing things or saying things. It's almost compelled speech, basically.
And the flip side on this, which brings those 2 conversations together, from what you said about your skin colour, how you look at it now, and the gay woman. I keep saying gay as if she's a homosexual. No, that's her name.
She may be
gay.
I don't know.
No, but her name's Gay, isn't it?
Yeah, Claudine Gay.
Claudine Gay. Now, what we need to realise now is things over the last couple of decades have gone so far that people will look at her now, and I did it straight away. I look at her and I go, you only got that job because you're black.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point.
Now that may not be true. She may have been a fantastic professor, academic, and she may be fantastic. And we've got to a stage now where we're looking at people like, if I didn't know you and I met you, or people may meet you and go, you've only got that because you're Indian, because you're died. We were judging people all the time.
I think you're right.
And none of this is right.
Yeah, it's very bad, I think, for black people, for Indian people, whatever, because if they're in positions that where they've worked hard, they've done it, they've got the ability, the intelligence to become qualified, to become doctors, lawyers, barristers, or whatever it might be, presidents of Harvard. I think you're right. People now are looking at that and saying, did they get there on their own merits? Or did they get
How
there?
insulting is that when you worked all your life to get that position and you're the best for that job? You just happen to be black, female, gay, disabled, but you got it because you were the best for the job. We look at you now and we go, you're there as a token.
Yeah, which is horrific for those people.
Yes, it's a huge insult.
Yeah, I mean, just actually speaking about Claudine Gay, she wasn't a stellar academic because part of the issue she was sacked was she'd only done in a 26-year career 11 academic papers, and of those 11 papers, I'm trying to remember now, but I think half of them had large elements of being plagiarised.
They found up to 50 incidents of plagiarism in her work.
Yes, yeah, and I think that kind of then does actually demonstrate this happens.
Yes,
because Harvard is the most prestigious university in America, and they've ended up with the president of Harvard being somebody who isn't that academically qualified or academically, the integrity isn't there in the academia, but she got that role basically.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around, tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement, so be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.